Get your popcorn ready for this matchup, the one we've been waiting for. This is the one. You got the Buffalo Bills going into Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. Colt, set the scene, baby.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, this is what we've all wanted to see. I mean, how lucky would we be if we get the rematch of the AFC Championship several years ago? That game was unbelievable. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, this is incredible. I think it's the two best teams in the AFC. I know a few boys on here picked the Baltimore Ravens last week, but the real ball knowers over here picked the Buffalo Bills. And guys, I'm just telling you, like, this quarterback matchup is unbelievable. Two of my favorite guys going head to head with everything on the line to get to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a awesome game. The Kansas City Chiefs have figured out a way to win almost every single week in different ways. What Andy Reid has done with this offense, with the pieces that he has to play with, the way Patrick Mahomes has kind of morphed into just figuring out ways to win has been unbelievable to watch throughout the year. Call it whatever you want. They win football games, right? Travis Kelce in the playoffs, freaking stud. On the flip side, the Bills. We mentioned this a few weeks ago. They're the most healthy team in the playoffs. They only have like 4 or 5 guys on IR. They got a little bit banged up last week in the secondary, but can those guys, figure out a way to get out on the field and play? And Josh Allen just has this look in his eyes, right? He's determined. They got lucky last week when Andrews dropped the ball in the 2-point conversion, because you never know what happens at that point. But I just think this is a game that's going to be so much fun to watch. These two quarterbacks, how lucky are we to get to see this? I mean, it's going to be another instant classic.
I agree. We were not so lucky to see if the Chiefs could go undefeated. Their only loss at full strength came really to the Bills, and then obviously they rested their starters in Week 18, Jay. Can either of these teams learn anything from that first game, or is this a whole different animal?
Yeah, I went back and I watched that film and I was like, why am I watching this film? This game doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't. I mean, these are two different teams. They're different. It's just different. It's just to go to the Super Bowl, and Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes are going to get after it. The one thing I will say is I think there's got to be a receiver for Kansas City to step up eventually. I mean, Xavier Worthy had 5 catches last week. Hollywood Brown, 0. Hopkins, 0. Schuster, Smith, Juju Schuster, 0. I mean, it's hard to believe. I mean, Kelce had 7 for 100, and obviously that's their best player as far as the passing game is concerned. But Kansas City's got to do something. They got to chip the left tackle, help Thuney out a little bit. They got to be able to get the ball down the field, make some big plays eventually, because it's going to be hard to stop this Buffalo offense. It's going to be very hard. They will look at the film and look at key matchups of what happened last. But I just can't wait to see these quarterbacks play. That's all. It's just whenever Josh Allen has the ball in his hands, you just sit on the edge of your seat and your eyes just get wide open. You're like, what is about to happen now? And the same thing can be said for Patrick when he starts running. This game is impossible to predict. You experts can say, I know what's going to happen. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen. This is going to be off schedule. I think, with their ex-alignment and Cook and Josh Allen's design runs, I think they'll have some success running the football. And I think on the flip side, Kansas City's having trouble. Kareem Hunt and Pacheco didn't really get going last week. They're having trouble for some reason. They got to figure out a way to get that part of the game going to have a chance. Whichever team can get the running game established quicker and more efficiently, I think will win the game.
Jay, I think you nailed it there. I think the running game is going to be huge, and whoever can run it better in this game, I couldn't agree more. Justin, give us your keys to success for both of these teams.
Yeah, when I look at this game and I look at specifically the Buffalo Bills, can Steve Spagnuolo slow down Josh Allen? And you look at the last game, Josh Allen rushed it, not knowing what's going to happen, how things are going to transpire. And that is really what I think this entire game comes down to. I think the key is the Chiefs defense. Can you slow down probably the MVP front runner now, Jay? I think maybe that he beat Lamar. He's kind of claimed that title. Can you stop this man from dominating a game? Because what he does is he puts pressure on the opposing offense. I love Patrick Mahomes. I am never going to bet against that guy in a playoff game, which probably alludes to what I'm going to do later on in the show. If the Chiefs defense can yet again, and Steve Spagnuolo can yet again step up and be up to the task, they are going to have a chance to win this game.
When you look at Colt, when you look at the Chiefs and you look at Patrick Mahomes and what he has done the last 5 years, I mean, it's hard to argue. He's been the best quarterback for the last 5 years. Josh Allen, arguably the best quarterback this year. What do you see when you see both of those guys on tape, and what makes them who they are?
I see their adaptability and their ability to adjust. You look at the entirety of this season with the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes has beat you in every kind of way, using his legs, using his arm, running out the clock, like game management. Like we all know who Patrick Mahomes is. One of the best of our generation, could quite possibly go down as the best of all time someday. He's a stud. But what, like, his ability to adapt and figure out ways to win has just jumped off the tape to me this year. He's played through injuries. You know, he's figured out like how to get guys the balls in certain situation. Travis Kelce up and down all year. Receivers in flux all year. Look at their record. How is this even possible? Well, it's possible because you got Patrick Mahomes. He knows how to win a game. I remember playing with Alex Smith and like how he talked about the game and how he saw the game from a management standpoint, like when it's okay to punt, how's your defense playing, how's the matchups there, like when to take risks, when to take shots and take your opportunities. Like I see that through Andy Reid, and I see that the way that Patrick Mahomes has played this year. He's the ultimate winner. On the flip side, you see Josh Allen. And when I talk about adaptability for him, like if it all breaks down, he's signaling up to Joe Brady, let's run quarterback counter. Just let me fall for 5 yards. Like that's in their playbook every single time. And the thing that Josh Allen has done this year so well is he's not turned the ball over. He's figured out a way to control the game with his arms and his legs. It's kind of the same thing from a receiver standpoint. Like a lot of different guys who could make a lot of different plays at different times. We talked about the Ravens and the Bills last week. The matchup I wanted to watch was the tight ends. Like they all showed up in that game. I think it's going to be the same for Josh Allen, the Bills this week, is Kincaid and Knox and their impact on the game. But when you watch these two quarterbacks, they figure out ways to win. It's not about stats anymore. It's not about throwing for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's about what do we got to do to win? Let's play to our strengths. Let's make sure we put our defense in good situations. And to me, that's the mark of great quarterbacks, great leadership, and great understanding of the game. Like their experience, their playoff experience, their proven track record, it's all on the line this week. And to me, that's why this matchup is going to be freaking fun to watch.
Yeah, this matchup is to send the best team in the AFC to the Super Bowl. You know what our Super Bowl is? For all us retired gents on this program, our Super Bowl is this channel right now. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers. We have bypassed a couple numbers. We've hit 13, then 14, 15. We just jumped 16. Let's get us to 20 by the Super Bowl. Keep following along. Press the like, hit the subscribe. Keep following with us, everyone. Jay, this is the 7th AFC championship in a row for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sheesh.
I'm going to say that again. 7th AFC championship in a row. Talk about how hard it is to sustain that level of success.
Oh, it's almost impossible. Nobody's been able to do it other than New England and maybe San Fran back in the day, and obviously now Kansas City. It's so hard because players change and injuries happen and free agency and everything. To maintain this level of success 7 years in a row is just incredible. There'll be a Mount Rushmore with coaches' heads on it, and Andy Reid will be up there, that's for sure. But yeah, it's been fun to watch these guys play. They just play unbelievable when the game's on the line, and they never give games away. You're going to have to beat Kansas City. They will not ever beat themselves. That's what makes them special. That's why they maintain this level of success. People do uncharacteristic things when they play Kansas City. It's like in a boxing match. You're a dancer, you're covering up. Then, I got to take a haymaker. Then, bam, you get knocked out. You got to play within yourself against Kansas City. Do the things that you do well. Let it come down to the wire and try to beat them in the fourth quarter, which, again, is damn near impossible because Patrick always has a fourth quarter drive to win it. So, yeah, they're just well coached. They have players that are awesome in critical situations. They have a great kicker. They have a great defense, a defensive coordinator, and a great play caller. So that's why they're doing it, but it's very difficult.
Also seems like he always gets a pretty opportune roughing the passer call at times too as well.
Yeah, we're not going to put that on 7 AFC championships in a row now. He's done
We
it.
are not going there. Let's talk the other side, Justin. Let's talk a little bit about, listen, everybody was saying last year the Bills missed their window. This might be the best Bills team we've seen over the last couple of years. They're arguably playing the best of any of the teams that Josh Allen has had in contention every year. How much pressure do they have? Obviously, it's the AFC Championship game. They seem loose, but how much pressure do they have, and how can they block out the outside noise to get to this Super Bowl?
This episode of Clean Pocket is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every week, we're trying to bring you the best version of ourselves on this show and bring you the top football content on YouTube. There's no reason why you shouldn't be the best version of yourself every week. With BetterHelp, you can do just that. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. You can access their network of 30,000 credentialed therapists online in just minutes. Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/pocket today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/pocket. Now let's get back to the video. You can't block out the outside noise. If you're Josh Allen, if you're the Buffalo Bills, everywhere you go in Buffalo, New York right now, they're cheering for you. They want you to win, and you have to embrace it. You have to own it. You have to know, hey, we're 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes if we're Josh Allen. We haven't been able to get over the hump and beat this man. He's been the boogeyman. Him, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce. You got to embrace it. You got to go into there with that underdog mentality, the hungry dogs run faster mentality. I know Jay hates to say being the underdog and, looking at it from that aspect, but you are. You haven't gone into a fourth quarter, and you have gone toe for toe, but Patrick Mahomes has always come out on top. You go in there, remember that scene in Step Brothers where those bullies are down the block. You got to take the direct angle home. They've been shoving your head in that white dog shit for so many years now. You got to flip the script, and this is a chance for Josh Allen to go there and do it. I love the mentality that they're playing with. You look at Deion Dawkins. You look at Spencer Brown, the right tackle. He's playing like a dog. Ed Oliver wanted to fight everybody on the Ravens last week. It felt a little bit like the AFC Championship game was between the Bills and the Ravens, and this is going to be their Super Bowl. And that's how I think a lot of people are looking at this. These are two monster teams playing for the right to knock off Patrick Mahomes. And I think the whole world is cheering on, and they're repping Bills Mafia because everybody wants to see the Chiefs go down. I just don't know if they're going to be able to make it happen.
So is this a Catalina wine mixer?
That's exactly what's on the horizon.
That's exactly right. All right, we'll go around the horn and just everybody give a quick bold prediction. I will start. Listen, the one thing I remember a year ago when I watched the Kansas City Chiefs play the Baltimore Ravens was exactly what I watched this week. The way you beat the Baltimore Ravens is you take it to them. You bully them. You literally be the more physical team. That is what Baltimore is always known for. And when someone takes the fight to them, they usually come out on top. And when I was watching Buffalo this past week, they took the fight. It was constant. Plays after the whistle. It was Mac Hollins dumping Humphrey. It was the right side of the offensive line, who maybe everybody thinks about Deion Dawkins, but the right side of the offensive line running duo downhill and watching the line move this way, not this way. That is what I think is going to be the biggest, most pivotal part to the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they can match them physically. I think when Chris Jones is across, I think this offensive line is built now to win. And so I think it's going to come down to the Bills' offensive line, their ability to run the ball, and their ability to keep Josh Allen from getting sacked, as he was the least sacked quarterback this year. Colt, what do you got?
Whew, that's a good one. I mean, bold prediction. I don't know if you put this in the bold prediction category, but I got Josh Allen scoring two different ways. I got him throwing a couple touchdowns and running one in. I mean, I just think that, he's playing at a level that we haven't seen him play at. I mean, he's been extremely good his whole career, but something's a little bit different this year. And as Justin said, like this is their chance, right? This they've been playing for all year. Like they know that this isn't going to be a new week for them. Like they've been eyeing this for a long time. And so my bold prediction is that Josh Allen has a passing touchdown or two and finds a way in the end zone rushing the football. He's too big. He's too strong. They get down in the red zone. That's what they do when they get down tight. And I see it happening again.
Jay, what do you got? Give me a big prediction or a big moment that happens in this game.
Ooh, man, I'll tell you what, I think this is going to be – I just can remember sitting on a porch before the season started. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills, and somebody on this panel says, best will be 8-8, 8-9, 7-10. Yeah. They lost too many. They lost five bigs, and they lost their center. Their center? What the hell? Anyway.
Their new center's pretty damn good, too.
You didn't take that into account, did you? Yeah. I could really talk myself into why I would take Kansas City and why I would take Buffalo, but I'm going to take to win the game. I'm going to take Kansas City to win the game. I think Kelsey will do too many things against the weak safety group for Buffalo. I'm not a big Hamlin fan. I'm not a big Taylor Rapp fan. I know he got a nice interception. Hopefully, Teron Johnson can play nickel and they can put him on Kelsey a lot if they're in base defense or a base personnel and match him up somehow. But he'd be an idiot to bet against Mahomes. Come on. I'm not doing it. I'm taking Kansas City.
Justin, what do we got?
Am I going prediction or am I doing like Gruden and not answering the question and just giving my pick?
Kansas City, Pugh. What do you want me to do?
Give me something big and give me
All
who's
right,
going to
I'm
win.
going to go that the referees will not impact this game. There's not going to be some crazy calls that we got to talk about all week long. Patrick Mahomes, I think actually Mahomes is going to get hit one time and they're not going to call the flag. All will be right in the world. And the Kansas City Chiefs are still going to win. I got the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl again. You can't bet against Mahomes. Don't do it. Don't even think about it.
Colt, who do you got winning?
I am. I'm going the Buffalo Bills. Like I've watched this team every single week. I see, look, Josh Allen's playing great. This defense is doing enough. Now they're going to have to make more stops and play better late in the game than what they did against the Ravens. I mean, letting Baltimore back in late in the game like that, big play after big play, like that can't happen. That's what Mahomes is best at, like when the ball's in his hand at the end. So they've got to dominate from start to finish. They've got to play 4 quarters of great football, but they have a gunslinger back there wearing number 17 that I think is that I said it. He has a look in his eye. He has a way about him right now that, he's been playing all year to get to this point. Right. We love the Chiefs. I love Patrick Mahomes. What they've done is unbelievable. He is a bona fide stud, but I just don't think they squeak by again this week. I think the Buffalo Bills go into Arrowhead, get a win, head to the Super Bowl.
Colt's been my spirit animal this playoff season. I am going with the Buffalo Bills as well. Justin, I hope you're right. I hope we don't see any ticky-tack fouls on personal fouls or late hits or whatever you want to call it on Patrick Mahomes. I also hope that these refs get this under check because the left tackle and the right tackle, Buffalo, Dion and Spencer, they chop arms. It's not a hold. PSA.
It's not a hold. It is not a hold.
All right. I got the Buffalo Bills.
Man, Colt's going with the all-heart team. I think everyone wants to see Bills versus Commanders. I hope I'm double wrong, and this is the Super Bowl. I really do.
In football, every game means more during the playoffs, and you can start your own personal playoffs on Underdog, where you could cash in on touchdowns, interceptions, yards, or more. All you have to do is pick higher or lower, and you could take home up to 1,000 times your money if you get your picks right. It's that simple. Millions of fans have already won billions of dollars making picks. Sign up for Underdog today using promo code POCKET, capital POCKET, and you'll get a free pick as a part of your first cash entry plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Again, that's promo code POCKET.